Hello and welcome to a new GPT guitar video tutorial. Today we are going to work with one of the modes of the major scale. It's a Mixolydian mode, and we are going to learn how to play it and how to make it sound. There's a couple of concepts that we have to know and learn before we dive inside improvisation and how to play with the scale and the mode. First of all is where the mode comes from. The mode comes from the 5th grade of the major scale. That means that the chord that is representative for this mode is a dominant chord. Okay, it's the 5th grade. We have only one dominant chord on the major scale. That is the 5th grade. So this grade that on the major scale is the 5th, now is going to become the 1st grade. Okay, and the notes on the chords are going to be the same, but are going to be in different order and different functions. So for example, the one that used to be on the major scale, the 6th, now becomes the 2nd grade, and so on with the other chords. Second concept that we have to understand is that we are working with a major scale. The structure of a Mixolidian scale is the same of the major scale. The only difference is one note, that is the 7. It's a major scale. This is the definition. A Mixolidian mode is a major scale with a flatted 7. We are going to have the same intervals and the same distance in between the notes of the scale, but not on the 7 that is going to be flatted, and it's going to be a flatted 7. I'm going to have in between the octave or the root, I'm going to have a whole tone instead of a half tone. That would be the major 7. Another important thing to set up beforehand is with what scales or fingerings I'm going to work. I recommend always to work with the 7 shape, the 7 fingerings of the major scale that you can find in this channel too, on the major scale, how to play with major scales through the neckboard and how to connect it. Why? Just a simple answer to this, because the 7 fingerings represents also the 7 modes. So if you play, we are going to be based now on the fingering number 5. That becomes the fingering, is going to be now our first fingering, because this is the number 5th fingering that now becomes the fingering number 1. This is the 5th fingering of the C major scale, but what happened is doesn't refer to a major chord, refers to a dominant chord, and the same happened with all the fingerings. So that, because it's important. Okay, the only thing that we have to know is how to reorder all these fingerings. It depends on which mode we are playing or we want to play. We have to move which one is going to be the number 1. I'm going to leave a PDF with all this information, so you can download the Mixolidian scales, arpeggios and pentatonic that we are going to study in this video. As I said before, this is a major scale with a flatted 7. So we need to understand the intervals and the notes that are inside this scale. It's very important to develop which chords we can cover with this scale, and we are going to see this right now. Starting from here, this is the root. Second note is a major, second major, or this is a 9, natural 9. So what's happening, or what it means, that I can play this mode over this chord. This is a 7/9 chord, or this. Then I have major 3rd, perfect 4, perfect 5th, major 6 or major 13. That covers me. What can I do? What can I play over this chord? This chord is a G7-13 or G13. It means that I can play with the Mixolydian mode over this chord. So with the Mixolydian mode, I can cover and play over the dominant chord, over the dominant 9 chord, over a 13, dominant 13. And after the 6th, I have the flatted 7. That is important. This is a characteristic note, okay? Every mode of the major scale, every Greek mode has a characteristic note that makes the difference in between the other modes. So to hear the Mixolydian mode, what we have to do is emphasize this note and try to make it sound as many times as possible. So those are the basic elemental concept we need to understand where we are when we want to play the Mixolydian mode. So now let's go to dive inside the elements that make us sound inside the Mixolydian sound. Okay, as a guitar player, the first element that comes to our mind is to play the minor pentatonic scale from the root. So if I have the G7 chord, what I'm going to play is the G minor pentatonic blues scale. The problem is that doesn't have the any Mixolydian sound. This is like when I play the pentatonic scale. Don't get me wrong. Okay, when I play this pentatonic scale, it's minor scale over this dominant chord that contains a major third, and is like as I said, it's a major scale with a flatted 7. What is happening there is what I'm playing is rock. Okay, this is rock over this major chord or traditional blues. It's not wrong, it's perfectly fine, but now what we want to make sound is the Mixolydian mode. So we are going to use the minor pentatonic scale from the root, but as we are going to blend it with the other elements to make the Mixolydian sound with this flavor that we want appear. First element that we are going to learn is we are playing over a dominant chord, so we are going to learn the 7 dominant arpeggio. We are going to use this arpeggio. It's very important because we are going to use this arpeggio over another modes in the future. So the arpeggio is this. And something important is that I'm adding the 9, okay, the natural 9 or the major second to the arpeggio. It's important to learn the vertical position and the diagonal position. So it's going to be the diagonal position of this arpeggio is going to be this. Next position is going to be here. We are going to learn how to play an arpeggio on the 6th and on the 5th string. So now on the 5th string is going to be this arpeggio. Okay, again, I'm adding the 9. And the diagonal for this arpeggio is going to be this. Now let's go into listen the first example, how it sounds. Second element that I'm going to use to improvise over Mixolydian mode and to make it sound is going to be a major 7 arpeggio that is going to be a whole tone below the root. A whole tone backward below the root means 2 frets on the guitar. So if I'm in G7, what I'm going to use is a F major 7 arpeggio. And we can use any major 7 arpeggio fingering that we know. I'm going to leave on the PDF with a couple of shapes and fingerings of the most important major 7 arpeggio, but this is, believe me, this is what is going to give us a very specific Mixolydian sound. Let's go into hear how it sounds. If you like my approach on the guitar and the concept that I'm sharing with you, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and activate the ring bell button to get notified every time that I upload a new video. Don't forget, it's very helpful and to me, and for you it's free. Third element that we are going to play is, of course, the major pentatonic scale of G, or a pentatonic minor third below the root, backward on the neck. That means that a minor third is 4 frets. In G, I'm going to do it here. It's going to be more easy to count. If I have a G note starting from here, I'm going to take this as a 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 frets back on the neck below, backward from the root. What I'm going to have is an E note, so what I'm going to use is the E minor pentatonic over my G7. This is a very well-known concept. Some people know as the relative, as the major pentatonic of G. To me, it's more easy to count just 4 frets and play a minor pentatonic. Use this shape, because this shape contains the sound and has the sound, okay, of the dominant chord. And it's going to be very useful if I want to blend this pentatonic, this major pentatonic, or E minor pentatonic, with the G minor pentatonic here. And I'm going to make like an hybrid pentatonic scale. If you use the blue note, you're going to have all this chromatism that comes from the notes of the pentatonic and the blue notes of both pentatonic, G minor and E minor. So this very well-known line over the dominant chord comes from blend and make like a pentatonic, hybrid pentatonic from the minor and the major. Let's go into hear how it sounds now. I'm going to play only with the E minor pentatonic. Okay, so finally, before the end of the video, I want to share with you some exercise that you can do to improvise and to discover this sound. If you're using if you're looking for a Mixolydian backing track and you face with this progression 2/5, it's perfectly fine. You can play the Mixolydian because there's a lot of smooth jazz, soulful, and backing tracks that are made over this progression, so it's perfectly fine. The other exercise is try to transport this to another key. So if I'm on, for example, E flat 7, what I have to do is I have to do the same math with the elements that I did before. So where B flat 7 comes from is the 5th grade of E flat major, and so I have to use the 7th fingering of E flat major, but I'm going to start from the fingering number 5th. It's going to become the finger number 1, and the elements are going to be B flat 7 arpeggio or diagonal, then the arpeggio, major 7 arpeggio, that is going to be a whole tone backward from the root, and it's A flat major 7, any fingering, and then pentatonics. Of course, I have available the minor pentatonic scale from the B flat and the pentatonic scale from G minor pentatonic, that is 4th fret backward from the root, or a minor third down from the root. Okay, and those are the elements for a B flat Mixolydian. If I have a E7 Mixolydian, again, where I'm going to find E7 as a 5th grade. Okay, E7 is the 5th grade of A major scale. So what I'm going to use here, the elements, again, the E7 arpeggio, major 7 arpeggio from D major 7 arpeggio, pentatonic scale from E minor, and 4 frets back from the root, backward from the root, and it's going to be the C sharp minor pentatonic, or if you want to call it E major pentatonic scale. Is the same, or the relative is both names are representing the same sound. Okay, people, thank you. That's all for today, for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please, I want to read you, so leave a comment and tell me what you think about the video, and if there's anything else that I can be helpful. I really appreciate your comments. I would like to read you. Thanks so much, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.